welcome back to the channel. I'm Zach, and you're watching Broken Zach. This is part 1 of a new series called The Black Files. Let's begin. The Scarcity Tease. This won't be available much longer. Only 3 spots left. Limited edition. You've heard it before, and you've probably felt it. That sudden tug in your chest, like something is slipping away. That's the Scarcity Tease, a psychological trigger that whispers, if you don't grab it now, you might lose it forever. Scarcity works because it weaponizes urgency. It hijacks your fear of missing out, your fear of regret, and turns it into action. It doesn't even matter if the thing is valuable. If it feels rare, we want it more. Psychologists call this reactance. When our freedom to choose feels threatened, our brain doesn't calmly evaluate. It panics. It pushes us to do something. You're not just buying a product. You're defending your right to choose, fighting off imagined loss. And it works. Retailers exploit this constantly. Countdown timers. Only 2 left in stock. Fake wait lists. Artificial exclusivity. Even when the product is mass-produced garbage, they create the illusion of rarity. And it works. It's not just companies. Social groups use it too. You only get one chance to join. We're selective about who we accept. Suddenly, it's not a choice. It's a test, a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, a secret club you might never get into again. And under that pressure, you act before you think. Even cults play this game. They say, enlightenment is fleeting. The gates are closing. This is your one chance to ascend. They don't give you space. They give you a deadline. Because once urgency kicks in, rational thought collapses. Here's the truth. Most things aren't actually rare. They're just made to feel rare. Scarcity is often manufactured, deliberately designed to make you act fast and think slow. So how do you resist? Pause. Right at that moment when something feels rushed. Ask yourself, is this real urgency or designed urgency? If someone's trying to rush your decision, they're probably hoping you won't stop long enough to see the strings, because anything truly worth having will still be worth having tomorrow. And that is the Scarcity Tease. The Reciprocity Token. Someone hands you a gift. You didn't ask for it. They say it's free, no catch. But still, you feel it. That strange pull in your chest. Not gratitude. Debt. Even if you didn't want it, even if it cost them nothing, your mind whispers, you owe them. That's the trap. This is the Reciprocity Token, one of the oldest, most subtle forms of social manipulation. Give first. Make it look generous. Then step back and let guilt do the rest. You think you're acting freely, but you're not. You're just balancing an invisible scale. An emotional weight that was placed on you. This runs deep. In a study, researchers tested it on restaurant tips. A waiter leaves a mint with the bill. Tips jump. Add a second mint. They jump higher. Say, this one's just for you. Tips skyrocket. Why? Because humans are wired to return favors. Even when the favor is meaningless, we don't want to be seen as selfish. We want to feel fair, balanced, generous. That's why charities send you free calendars with donation forms. Street vendors press a bracelet into your hand before asking for money. Cults offer food, warmth, affection, and then ask for your loyalty. The gift is small, but the pressure it creates? Massive. Even hostage negotiators use it. Offer a tiny concession first, then request something bigger in return. It feels like cooperation, but it's not. It's choreography, because when someone gives you something, your instincts scream to give something back. And here's the twist. The more unexpected the gift, the stronger the pull. We feel most obligated when we didn't see it coming. So how do you resist? Simple, but not easy. Name it. Say it out loud if you have to. That was kind, but I don't owe anything in return. Because if a gift comes with strings, it was never really a gift. Reciprocity is powerful, but it only works on people who are too polite to cut the thread. Don't let them tie one around your throat. And that is the Reciprocity Token. The authority aura. They walk into the room, say almost nothing, and everyone listens. Why? Because of the lab coat, the badge, the suit, the title engraved on a shiny little nameplate. This is the authority aura, the silent command of someone who looks like they're in charge. When someone projects power, we don't question it. We defer. They don't need to explain themselves. They just look like they know what they're doing. And so we obey. But here's where it gets dangerous. This trick bypasses logic. We don't ask why they're right. We just assume they are. Because challenging authority isn't just uncomfortable, it feels risky. In 1961, psychologist Stanley Milgram ran one of the most disturbing experiments in history. Volunteers were told to deliver electric shocks to a stranger in another room. The shocks weren't real, but the screams were. Pre-recorded, terrifying, human. And still, they kept going. Why? Because a man in a white lab coat told them, "Please continue." That was enough. 65% of participants pushed the dial all the way to the maximum voltage, just because someone who looked official said so. That's the authority aura in action. Not truth, not ethics, just the illusion of power and a voice that sounds too certain to question. You see this trick everywhere. Doctor recommended, certified by experts. Logos, credentials, badges, uniforms. Even scammers know how to use it. A fake cop calls about unpaid fines. A tech support agent speaks in a calm, serious tone, gives you an employee ID. They don't ask, they tell. And we listen. Even cult leaders use it. Strange robes, invented titles, sacred symbols. It's not just costume, it's psychological armor. If they look like they have the answers, people stop asking questions. Here's the truth. Authority can be earned, but it can also be faked. And in moments that matter most, that difference can disappear. So when someone walks in with a uniform, a clipboard, and a voice full of certainty, pause. Ask yourself, do they deserve that authority? Or are they just wearing it? Because the aura is easy to fake. But your trust, that's harder to earn. And that is the authority aura.